a king who had only one child, a beautiful princess. The king loved her more than his own life and wanted her to marry someone who would be her true soulmate, whether he was rich or poor, prince or peasant, to find the right match. The king announced a strange challenge. He hung a massive animal hide in his court and declared, "Whoever correctly identifies which creature this hide belongs to will marry my daughter." The first suitor was an old prince, around 50 years of age. The princess wasn't pleased, but stayed silent in front of her father. The prince examined the hide carefully, touched it, and said, "This is the hide of a hippopotamus." The king smiled and replied, "Wrong." The princess sighed in relief. Next came a prince who was an expert in animals. He looked closely and said, "This is the hide of a wild boar." Again, the king said, "Wrong answer." Then came a young, handsome prince. The princess's eyes lit up with joy. She whispered to her father, "Please let me marry him." But the king, true to his word, refused to break the rule. The young prince examined the hide and guessed maybe it's the skin of some huge monster. The king replied again, "Incorrect." Suddenly, a terrifying, tall, flesh-eating monster stormed into the court. Everyone was terrified. The princess began to tremble. The guards rushed forward to attack, but the king stopped them. The monster looked at the hide, sniffed it, and confidently gave the correct answer. The king had no choice but to keep his word. He declared, "My daughter will marry this monster." The next day, the monster came to take the princess with him. She was terrified, but there was nothing she could do now. He was her husband. The monster led her deep into the forest, where he lived. The journey was long and difficult. The princess grew tired and collapsed. The monster gently said, "Climb onto my back." He lifted her onto his shoulders and carried her up a steep hill. At the top was his home, a cave surrounded by bones. The princess's heart sank in fear. Bones were scattered everywhere because the monster was a meat eater. Her life had turned into a nightmare. She began to wonder, was the rest of her life going to be hell?